So, Mr. Piccolo, what are you going to teach me today? A brand new technique? How to sense energy? What about how to fly?
Dodge! What's up, guys? Excalibur, and welcome back to Star Ocean Anamnesis. So today, I'm going to do a little tutorial on how to dodge. A dodging 101, because I've seen that some people are still having trouble with dodging certain attacks, so I thought about doing a run in Misery 3, and then what I'm going to do is just talk you through my thought process when I'm running this match. So like, for instance, why I'm positioning myself in the way that I am, why I'm attacking here, dodging here, and just showing you how easy it is to dodge some attacks that this guy uses, and how you're supposed to think. Not how you're supposed to think, but how you should think and act in certain situations. So, Misery 3, I'm going in with this team. I'm going to be playing as A2 because then I can be the defender that draws most of the aggro, and hopefully I'll have a lot of footage to work with in that case. So, let's do this. Alright, and here we go. So, first things first, you need to know what a perfect dodge is, and this should be kind of obvious, but I think the game displays that as nullifying damage through agility, I think. But basically it's right there, what you just saw, the yellow circle that popped around my character when I dodged that freezing laser. That was a perfect dodge, and that's what happens when you dodge when you use your dash at the right time, and it nullifies damage. It's as simple as that. So as long as you're in the dashing animation when the attack hits, you get that perfect dodge. And certain accessories like the Lunar Tear make use of that through their effects. Like, I think it recovers HP and it cures status ailments. So you can use it like that. But yeah, it's one of the best tools in your dodging. What is that called? Your dodging. It's one of your best dodging assets, I guess. So now, on to the actual, like, important things. If you want to dodge attacks properly, you need to know, you need to have an understanding of a couple of things. So first, you need to understand how your character works. Obviously, you'll be maining one single character. That's the one you'll be playing for all the difficult quests, and the one you enjoy playing the most. So I expect you to understand all their ins and outs. Like, you need to know their running speeds, you need to know how far their dash goes, and what their attack ending animations look like, because that's also really important. And in case you don't know, you can cancel out of attacks by using your dash like that. I just cancel the ending animation, and that helps with survivability. If I need to dodge an attack that the enemy does, I could just dodge and be ready for the next thing that's coming, and just do that. Really easy. So that's all for the character. Next, you need to understand how the boss works. So that mostly comes down to knowing their moveset and knowing what to do when certain attacks come out. Like this one, I can just stand behind him and it's not going to do anything. And little plug here, if you want to know that, whenever a new boss enemy comes out, I always put up a moveset video, so you can just watch that and get the full scoop on what they do. Just memorize that, and should be good to go. Then, the other important thing is you need to know at what ranges certain attacks become dangerous, and at what ranges your character can just do nothing and, dodge it that way, or avoid taking damage, I guess. So that attack, Frigid Billows, right there, for instance, I know that if I'm standing at long range, all I have to do is just wait for it to come to me, and I could just walk around it, like that, really easy. You could dash through the middle, which is what I usually do, but right now I'm just, just taking it easy, walking around it, being safe, because I don't have a healer. I could heal with my rush, but whatever. So, that is actually a really important thing in most video games, and it's something that people overlook most of the time. It's called positioning, and that's really important because it allows you to dodge attacks, it allows you to get your own attacks in there, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Positioning, really important. So what that comes down to is knowing at what ranges the boss does dangerous things to you. So like, if I'm standing at mid-range, he's trying to come towards me right now, so I'm just gonna let him do that. If I'm standing at mid-range, I know that he can use Frigid Billows, he can use the freezing laser attack, those frozen balls, and he can use this. So, what I need to know is how to dodge those attacks if I'm playing a mid-range character. If I'm playing a close-range character like A2 here, I need to know, or I need to be wary of Master Attack, of Cold Blow, and I think that's about it. All the things he can do from close range. So, another thing about positioning is make sure you're always staying towards the center, or most of the time you want to stay in the center of the arena, because when you go to the edge here, your dash does get longer, by the way. Let me show this off. If you're standing near the edge and you dash into it, your dash animation actually... Oh, this is a bad position to be in. Your dash animation lasts longer. But regardless, if you're standing near the edge and the enemy is standing right in front of you, what can happen is what you just saw with that Frigid Billows. It becomes really dangerous because you have like no time to react to it. And with other attacks that this thing can do, like Master... Oh shit, that's the enrage attack. Like, I'm just gonna rush. Fuck that. I am not dealing with that. But with other attacks like the Master Attack, for instance, he can like trap you in between the edge of the arena and I guess the inside of the arena, and it becomes really difficult to dodge stuff like that. So most of the time, you'll want to stay in the middle of the arena. And hold on, let me get close. Okay, so now it's gonna get dangerous because everything can kill me in one hit. But positioning, really important. Another important thing is actually I think that's about it. Positioning is just really all that matters. Timing is key when it comes to dodging as well, because you need to understand the timing of attacks and when you can actually dodge them like that. I knew he was gonna target me, or I knew he was gonna track me, so I had to actually dodge again. Yeah, that's another thing. You need to understand how AI works before you can let me get out of there. Yeah, understand how the enemy AI functions so that you can manipulate them, kind of. This is also really important in games like Monster Hunter and Dark Souls, because they have AI that's like all about manipulation. So if I know that whenever I'm standing close to him, he's going to fly away and do Frigid Billows, for instance, and if I keep chasing him down, all he's going to do is just fly away and use Frigid Billows. So I'm just going to stay here and wait for him to come to me, because he is going to do that eventually. His AI is now thinking, okay, I need to hit this player from this range. What can I do? I could spam Ground Scratch and kill him that way, or I could do that and hit him like that. That's when I'm standing in close range. Frigid Billows just going to move away, because I know that's where I can, stand to easily dodge it. If you're standing too close, you can't actually dodge that attack easily because you don't have a lot of time to react. But yeah, I think that about does it for everything I wanted to say. So positioning, know how your character works, know what the enemy can do, know... Like right there, for instance, he was casting Symbology. I knew that's Ritual Flame, so now I'm just going to stay in the middle of the arena. He actually trapped me. That's nice. Reverse Frame with Ritual Flame. That's dangerous. So I know what the enemy can do. Positioning, I think I said that already. And yeah, well, that's it. So, yeah, I hope that was helpful. I hope that gave you a little insight to what I'm thinking when I'm doing the boss battles. Oh, and this is another thing that I forgot to say during the actual fight. Panic dashing, as I like to call it. You can do this to try to evade an attack, but what ends up happening is that you can see my AP in the bottom right there. It's empty, and you kind of need your AP to do everything. You need it for skills, you need it to dodge. So if you keep dashing like that, what's going to end up happening is you're not going to dodge anything, and you're going to be out of AP, and then when the boss actually does try to do an attack, you can't dodge it because you're out of AP, and that really sucks. And you can avoid that by knowing what the enemy can do and knowing how to dodge their attacks, knowing where they're gonna hit, and knowing how the AI works. And then also another thing is the rush. This is more of a mind game, like a psychological thing, but look at the rush gauges, for instance. If you're playing a multiplayer game, or a multiplayer, if you're doing a multiplayer match with in Misery 3, or I guess Misery 2, Misery 1, any one of them work. If you see that your teammates already have their rush built up and you don't have it built up yet, then your first thought is going to be, okay, my teammates are ready with their rush, but I don't have my rush yet, so what do? I have to get my rush up too, so I can help them. And then what's going to end up happening is you start getting greedy, you start getting reckless to try and get your rush up, and you're just going to get hit by the enemy because you're just rushing in there blindly, you're not paying attention to what they're doing, and that's just bad for everybody. So I suggest take your time with your rush, or building your rush. Don't pay attention to what other people are doing. As long as it's not a speed run, you're going to do enough damage to kill the enemy before they get into their enrage mode. And if you know how to dodge it, you can even avoid the enrage mode. So I wouldn't worry too much about the rush speeds, because certain characters have better rush gains than other characters, and it's just unnecessary pressure. So don't worry about that. And that what I said about getting greedy and getting reckless and attacking the enemy, that's another thing you have to pay attention to. Make sure you don't get greedy, okay? That's one of the biggest killers in these types of games, these action games, real-time action games, I guess. Getting greedy. If you see that the enemy is almost dead and you start rushing in there to deal the finishing blow, enemies are designed to punish that. They are designed to punish greed. So if you understand that greed is going to get you killed and you keep calm throughout the entire match, then you're not going to get hit by anything, and you'll be the MVP of the match. I guarantee it. So that about does it for this. Hope that was helpful. Hope that gave you a little insight to what I'm thinking when I'm playing these types of games, or when I'm playing this game. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Peace!